Welcome back to TMZ Live. Harvey, we were talking earlier about how we have seen a lot of local politicians who have gotten the spotlight now with all we are going through across the country. And the same can be said for a lot of activists that maybe people who are doing the work, in local communities, maybe people don't know about, but they do now. And one of those is Kimberly Jones. Kimberly Jones posted a video that is so powerful. LeBron James has reposted it. Madonna, Janelle Monáe, Lizzo, Trevor Noah, just to name a few who have been impressed by what she said and moved by what she said. Here's a little bit of her speech explaining why people are fed up, why African Americans in this country are saying enough is enough and we want change. This is Kimberly's explanation. She's going to be with us.
When they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything. There's a social contract that we all have, that if you steal or if I steal, then the person who is the authority comes in and they fix the situation. But the person who fixes the situation is killing us. So the social contract is broken. And if the social contract is broken, why the do I give about burning football Hall of Fame, about burning Target? You broke the contract when you killed us in the streets and didn't give. As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground. And it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.
Wow. It's so powerful.
So joining us right now is the activist and author, Kimberly Jones. Kimberly, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi. I still get emotional myself when I watch that.
Thank you for so passionately explaining to America in a video that is 3 minutes or so long. You really taught people a lot about not just what's happening now, but the history that has led up to this, the history of pain and of the Black community being held down and in violent ways. You really summed it up for everyone.
You're welcome. I think that it was just time that someone said it in a very raw way. I think people have said it in lighter ways, but I think people have been fearful of the backlash. And that day, I was just in so much pain and feeling so hopeless and broken that, there was no edit button from my head to my mouth.
Well, Kimberly, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, too, that, for people to just say, how can people get this angry in the streets because it's not productive? It really does miss the point that this is frustration and anger built over decades with police departments. And I feel like you really encapsulated that. And I'm wondering, is the point of this to marshal the troops to feel that way? Or is the point of that to say to people, you're really lucky that we're still fighting for equality here?
That's it exactly. I feel like people are really lucky that we're still fighting for equality. I feel like Black people have been exceptionally forgiving of the atrocities that we face in this country. And so I think to be in a space where we're saying we still just want to have the freedom to live and have the same liberties and economically not be at such a disadvantage, not make a percentage of what our white counterparts are making. The fact that we're just still, for the most part, peacefully protesting to gain those rights, that's kindness on our part. That's a gift.
Yeah. And now what I think and I hope is changing is that you have people of all races who are at these marches. And now everyone can understand what needs to happen, and that's what has to change in order for the oppression to stop.
I completely agree with you, and it's to me, it's no coincidence that this is coming on the back of the pandemic, where people had to slow down and actually listen, and actually receive the information and have the time and the opportunity to process it. Since that piece has gone viral, I've received messages from all over the world, from Israel, from New Zealand, from Tokyo, from Africa, from everywhere, saying, I never really understood the plight of the Black American until I saw your 6-minute video.
Kimberly, I want to talk for a moment about the fact you have a book that you've written that is out now, a novel called I'm Not Dying With You Tonight. And it does center around the main characters are get caught in the middle of a race riot.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a prophecy now, right? So I started writing that book 5 years ago with one of my best friends, Geely Siegel, who is white. And we had this after the incident with Freddie Gray. She and I read this article about a group of teenagers who got trapped behind a police barricade during the unrest in Baltimore. So we're both moms, and we're just like, what happened to those kids? So we started to plot out this novel of what it would be like for two teenagers to be caught in the unrest, and not that they were participating, that they were just caught in it and trying to survive the night and get home, and how complicated it would make that survival if one was Black and one was white. So I predominantly Lena, the Black girl's voice, and she predominantly wrote Campbell, the white girl's voice, and is told in alternating chapters. And you get to see how differently the two girls see the same night as they try to survive the night together.
Given your eloquence, I would love to read this book, and I'm going to read this book. It sounds like I could get an education from this book, and I want that education. I'm going to read your book.
Well, I am honored. That's going to make my mom so happy. TMZ is her favorite show.
Kimberly, I love hearing you speak. I love your thoughts. I can't wait to read this book. And thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on.